Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the third decan of the zodiac sign Cancer, which is 20 to 29.59 degrees, 59 meaning minutes of arc. First off, the ruler of the decan, of course, is the moon. The sub-ruler is a combination of Jupiter and Neptune. It's the Pisces decan of Cancer, and Pisces is ruled by Jupiter and Neptune. And this could give more Piscean flavoring to the Cancerian nature. And the person may be a little bit, in appearance, a little bit fleshier, than the other Cancer decans, a little bit heavier. Eyes may be a little bit larger, more dreamy look to the person. The face may be heavier, the shoulders may be a little more sloping. And the thing about this is the Pisces decan may add more sacrificing energy to the person. The person may be more self-sacrificing, altruistic, forgiving, more passive, but yet more deceptive, duplicitous, and elusive than the other two Cancerian decans. And there could be a greater propensity for drugs and alcohol with this decan, because Pisces is associated with that. All the water signs collectively, have a greater proclivity toward alcohol and drugs, but Pisces especially, and you're adding the Pisces energy flavoring to the Cancer, the general Cancer personality. And the thing about this is, this could be the person, may decorate their home. It could be with, abstract art, something with spirituality, things that are mystical, mystical items. There may be, more of a proclivity, toward gullibility, as the person may be easily swayed. Zodiac sign Cancer, by itself, can be a mark for thieves. And then when you have, Pisces can be, again, very gullible, very impressionable, and easily manipulated. So people that have, this Cancerian degree needs to be careful, regarding others that may, try to manipulate them or outmaneuver them, because they can be a mark for the, kind of behavior. People running a financial scam as an example, promising them the world but not giving anything, and you wind up giving, all, everything, then, not getting anything that was promised in return, as some examples. And, again, the Pisces can be easily deceived. That flavoring can give more gullibility. There may be, a little bit harder for these people to deal with adversity, than the other two. Cancerian decans, this person may be more passive than the other two Cancer decans. And, the Cancer, again, could be, often flee from what he or she can't fight. And, the Pisces, influence can give, more, escapist tendencies. So there may be a strong tendency to run away from things as opposed to confronting them when things get rough. I had a prominent family member that had a Cancer Ascendant at 29 degrees, and a lot of times what she would do is she would just isolate herself, and I felt like basically running away from things and issues, rather than confront them, throw them under the proverbial rug, so to speak. So you gotta maybe, this, combination. People have to remember that at some point in time you may have to confront certain things, and I understand how, people may want to isolate themselves and, not deal with certain things, but, it's important to keep in mind when you have this Cancerian decan, that at some point in time, in some instances, you will have to wind up confronting things head on, whether you, desire to or not. And the thing about this too is the Jupiterian influence on the positive end. Jupiterian influence may give more, optimism, hope, exuberance, and enthusiasm to the nature, and the person may be, enamored with the outdoors more so than the other, Cancer decans. Cancer, of course, is a very introverted type, but you have the Jupiterian influence with this, and the person may be a little more outdoorsy than the other two Cancerian Deacons. And Cancer is dominated, by home and family-related matters often, but the Jupiterian influence may, give the person a more inclination to enjoy the outside more, which is positive because it's always good to have try to have some balance of indoor and outdoor activity. Now, the thing about this too is having this Cancerian deacon. It is one, again, which can be the person may be a little bit more passive than the other two Cancerian deacons, even more changeable than the other two Cancer deacons. Cancer, the personality by itself, of course, can be very, moody, fickle, and temperamental. And Pisces, is known to be, very changeable sign. It's a mutable sign. So you could have a very changeable, vacillating nature with this, Cancerian deacon. And the sun, is more connected with the basic fundamental character of the person. The moon is the unconscious side, and the ascendant reflects, that part of the persona that's readily expressed. It's the qualities and characteristics that are projected easily, and people can see on that first impression. So keep that in mind when you're looking at the deacons. Again, this does apply, and I may not have said that at the beginning of the video, this does apply and pertain to the sun, moon, and ascendant. And it's also important to look at contraindicators and modifying influences in the chart. Because as I stated before, this could be it could be an introverted combination. Yes, the Jupiterian energy can give a little bit more outdoorsiness, but at the same time, the fact that it is the Pisces deacon, there may be an inclination to isolation. Cancer is very introverted. The Pisces in a sub-influence can give inclination to isolation, solitude, seclusion. But let's say, if you have a preponderance of planets on the top half of the chart, and or more extroverted ascendant like Leo, then that could modify this to some degree, and the person may be a little bit more more gregarious and extroverted than the typical person that has this Cancerian deacon. As I've stated in my earlier videos, it's important to not isolate any one proponent in the chart, whether it's an aspect of planetary placement or what have you, and make an analysis of the person on that alone, because we got to look at the whole picture. The person's the sum of all their components in their chart, and not just one. But the thing about this is that this combination of having the Cancerian third degree, it can be a very passive submissive combination. This is a person that generally by itself, this deacon is not one that would be overly confrontational. But of course, as I stated before, it's good to look at contraindicators such as somebody's got Mars conjunct the ascendant and or the first house, or Mars is conjunct the sun, or if you have a strong Aries influence in the chart, as some examples. This could be but basically based on this position. This is somebody that's not one about confrontation, or the person likely is not overly aggressive, and it's more, it could be very passive energy. But the thing about this is, I think it's interesting because even though it's just the acting role, but as I've stated in previous videos, that I do believe that actors and actresses often gravitate toward roles that correspond with their astrological energies. If I'm not mistaken, the late actor Alan Thicke had a late Cancer rising. I think it was between 25 and 29 degrees, and he played a family man on his role on Growing Pains. And of course, Pisces is connected with films, filmography, videos, so it's not surprising he had that role. Cancer being connected with the home and family, but he was the family dad, but at the same time it was done on television, and Pisces can have a connection with films and videos. Anyway, people, and of course Pisces is the sub-influence of this Cancer deacon. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.